They are really trying everything that they can do to figure out how to regulate it. You had, I'm going to pull up a couple. It was Ed Markey, who was one of them. And he had tweeted out, this was the other day, on November 26th, he tweeted, oh, by the way, he's one of those guys, Markey, he's got, Senator, he's got a mask on in his avatar, so, yeah. He said, Elon Musk could respond to my tweets. He said he failed to respond to my letter by yesterday's deadline and answer basic questions about Twitter verification. Congress must end the era of failed big tech self-regulation and pass laws that put users' safety over the whims of billionaires. Well, why wasn't Ed Markey concerned about this when billionaire Jack Dorsey owned Twitter? Out of curiosity. First off, words are not violence. And he doesn't own this. He doesn't own Twitter. Remember when the left would say, oh, but Twitter's a private company, though. Twitter's a private company. Now they're demanding for regulation. I told you all this is going to go this way. They're trying to. This is the number one of the number one reasons why I was against this push to obliterate Section 230. There were a lot of people on the right that wanted to do this. Oh, we need to make sure. The only thing that should be added is that algorithms can be editorializing. Something to that effect. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need to do anything else because it doesn't talk about platforms. This is part of the Communications Decency Act. It doesn't talk about any of that stuff. Section 230 came about during the 90s it was a message board fight between one of the dudes with Wolves of Wall Street and one of the early on message boards, one of the early ISPs. And it came about because of that. And essentially, it was that a website cannot be responsible for the content of someone's comment. If you are just a facilitator, if you are not acting as a publisher. And I don't want to bend free speech over a barrel and bastardize what a publisher is, that legal definition, so as to try to control something. I mean, this is just the way it is. We don't live in a perfect world, and we're never going to be able to pass enough laws or have enough regulations or have enough policies to make the world a perfect world. That will never happen. This is the myth under which the left operates. This is also there's a good portion of the right that operates under the same lie too. They think, they believe this fairy tale. Oh, well, if we just modify Section 230, the only thing that you need to do is just just recognize that algorithms can be editorialized. That's it. You don't need to it's like holding Yelp responsible for the comments left. People don't even realize what that meant. And now that you have someone who isn't Jack Dorsey, who is in basic ownership of Twitter, now you can see this is because the pendulum always swings back. If we would have done what some of these people on the right and what the left wanted to do with Section 230, Elon Musk would actually be at a disadvantage right now. The government doesn't need to regulate this stuff. This is not a public utility. It does not need to be regulated. I say this as someone who has been so abused by the people who run this platform. I have literally had my follower count kept at the same level for 3 years. Months would go by where I wouldn't even lose a single follower. And I have receipts for days on this. Screenshots over the period of like 2.5 months show a completely static and never changing follower account. So I say this as someone who would benefit from having the government bend to my whims. But that's not the answer, because what purpose does it serve overall? What is the end? Sometimes these people think that their means are going to accomplish one end when in fact they accomplish an entirely different end altogether. So no, to answer Ed Markey's question, no one has they have no absolute authority whatsoever over what Twitter does. Have passed laws that put user safety over the whims of billionaires. I also call BS on that as someone who was doxxed on Twitter. In fact, it was a couple of people on the right who started that too, working with the left. Funny how that works, right? Back in 2016. And then the leftist Twitter, all the Twitter admins, they wouldn't suspend. At first, they wouldn't suspend the account. They were posting, like, they would actually drive to my house and post photos of my home on Twitter, like not Google images, but like actual photos of my home. They posted my address online. They were encouraging people to show up to my house. One person actually did. Flew across the country, and who knows, the police had to respond. It was a big deal. In fact, I showed the police report to the New York Times reporter when they came in to do a profile on me a couple of years ago. So I say this as someone that when I was working with law enforcement, and they sent they actually they subpoenaed records from Twitter, and Twitter basically told them to go pound sand. They told them to go pound sand. So as someone who actually has had their safety compromised by individuals using Twitter, no, the government has absolutely no authority whatsoever to jump in and regulate this platform. The end. It's none of his damn business. Go learn to code. Go create your own platform. Go to, what is it? What is the one that they want to go to? The Mammoth, what is it?
No,
Mastodon. Oh, whatever stupid thing that is. Go to your little stupid sandbox and go play over there with go play over there. Good grief. Putting profits over people. Is Twitter even profitable? No. Like, what is that? What a moron. No, none of this. They've been freaking out about this the whole time. And Elon Musk said that if Apple and Google pull the Twitter app, he's going to make his own phone. It's actually kind of funny. Alyssa Milano, she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. So she said that she was giving away her Tesla and getting a Volkswagen, and Twitter promptly reminded her that actual Nazis invented the Volkswagen brand. How do you just give your Tesla back? How does that even work? It's so good. You had Chris Hayes. He's like, my worst fears have been realized. These people are so ridiculous.